We got a hot topic tonight on this Facebook Live. Tonight's topic is CBD oil and blood pressure. I know that's a hot topic. I got a lot of comments this week asking about it. High blood pressure, about 1 in 3 Americans have hypertension or high blood pressure. And since heart disease is literally the #1 killer in the United States, it's really something that we should talk about. What the research has shown recently, literally this year, they did a really awesome study and they found out that CBD oil has the ability to lower blood pressure. Well, that's super exciting if you have hypertension and high blood pressure, and we know that hypertension and high blood pressure leads to cardiovascular disease and oftentimes heart attacks, and if that's the #1 killer in the United States, well, then that sounds like that's something important we'd want to know. And so what they found out is in a single dose, now they used a pretty high dose, but in a single dose, CBD oil was able to lower blood pressure, which is awesome. But one of the things that a lot of people have mentioned to me, and I had to do a little digging, a little research, but some people go, Doc, I sometimes take the CBD oil and I notice, it makes my heartbeat seem like it increases a little bit. Well, they found that also in the study, that initially, because of that initial drop in blood pressure, as your body, to compensate for that initial drop in blood pressure, sometimes there's an initial short-term increase in heart rate. Because if you think about it, if your blood pressure drops, sometimes you need to raise your heart rate to keep that balance. But then what they've shown is then immediately after that, blood pressure and heart rate will go down. Okay? So it doesn't mean you're having a problem if your heart rate increases when you first take it. That's normal. It's because your blood pressure is dropping, your heart rate increases sometimes a little bit, and then everything calms down together. The other cool thing they found in the research is not just in a single dose, but as you continue to use CBD oil over time, that it results in long-term lowered heart rate and lowered blood pressure. I love the CBD oil that I take. I have seen positive impacts in patients and in my own life. Not just in physical pains, which you would expect me as a chiropractor, but a whole bunch of people out there. It has a positive impact on the blood pressure, and so if you are looking for a natural solution to help with your blood pressure, then I really think you should consider CBD oil. Now, the disclaimer: nothing that I talk about tonight is, I'm not your doctor tonight, you're not my patient tonight. There's nothing that I say tonight that constitutes a doctor-patient relationship between the two of us right now, and we don't claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any specific disease, okay, with CBD oil. But the research shows that CBD oil has the potential to lower blood pressure. And if you can take a supplement that has the positive ability to help lower blood pressure, and you can do it with a natural substance that doesn't have any negative side effects, that sounds like that's something to be pretty awesome. So another interesting thing that they found out is that it even helped modulate your blood pressure during a stress reaction. Okay, so not just can it lower blood pressure in a regular, like at rest time, but at a time when your stress elevates under a stressful situation, it can actually help lower your blood pressure or keep your blood pressure lower then as well. Now, that's really cool because that's typically how most heart attacks happen. It's during a stressful situation, and the blood pressure takes this immediate spike, and then something can happen. So being able to have a positive impact at that time is really cool. One of the ways that works is your adrenal glands, which are your stress glands. They secrete a ton of hormones, but they significantly affect your blood pressure. Think of adrenaline increasing your blood pressure so you can fight or run away. Well, that's the stress response. Well, we know that CBD oil has a positive impact on your adrenal glands, and it helps lower things like cortisol, that stress hormone, and that helps lower blood pressure. So that's incredibly cool. Now, another thing that people are really concerned about is, well, what if, and I thank you, perfect timing, Joanne, what if you already take blood pressure medications? Can you still take CBD oil? There's a lot of concern I already take something for blood pressure. Well, this is my explanation to that. If you have high blood pressure because you gained weight and because you don't eat well and you smoke, okay, just hypothetical, and they put you on blood pressure medications. Now, if you start eating better, you lose weight, and you quit smoking, those are all things that are going to naturally help you lower your blood pressure. Now, should you not do those because you're now taking blood pressure medication? So my point being is that you always do something that's good and natural for you that may help you lower your blood sugar, lower your blood pressure, or do something like that, even if you're on a medication for it. Now here's the caveat. You want to make sure that if you're going to do that, that you absolutely have to be checking your levels. You have to be checking your blood pressure regularly. And if you're taking something that pushes your blood pressure down and your blood pressure starts to naturally go down because you lost weight or you're taking CBD oil, then you can see that your blood pressure dropping. And then that's when you contact your medical doctor and say, hey, I've made some very positive natural lifestyle changes. My blood pressure is starting to go down. Not only that, it's starting to dip a little too low. And how about we back off some of my medications now, right? Now, nobody that watches this video, do I want you to adjust, change, or do anything to any medication that you're taking. That is between you and the doctor that prescribed it. However, if you engage in positive natural things that naturally start to lower your blood pressure, as long as you're keeping an eye on it, and if you start to see it go down, then you talk to your doctor and say, hey, what's going on? Can we maybe reduce my medication because my natural healthcare lifestyle choices are naturally making my blood pressure go down as well, and now I think it's going too low. You know, are they going to tell you to quit eating right and exercising because your blood pressure is going down? And you can't do that because you're taking blood pressure medication? They're not going to do that. They're going to be like, okay, now this is what I want. Medical doctors they love data. So they're not going to change anything that you're doing based on what you say. So what I need you to do, if you're looking to change it, what you do is you take your readings every day and you write them down. And if you show up and say, this is what it was 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, this whole last week I've been going low, they'd be glad to change it as long as they have the data that backs it up, okay? So I don't want you to be concerned about taking it just because you're taking blood pressure medications, because if it naturally helps it go down, then you can talk to your doctor and he or she can naturally change your medications. So that anything positive naturally you can do to lower it, you got to go for it. You got to do that.